Okay guys, welcome back. This is actually turn 3 of the World Campaign. We've got Brandon and Marcus and John with us, and myself as well. So we're getting ready to do the tactical phase and the army movements, and then hopefully after that we'll have time to get at least 1 or 2 battles in today and record one of the battles from turn 3. I think there's going to be a lot of movement and a lot of attacks finally. So we're going to start off with Mordor, and we're going to go through our attack points and our movement. Mordor is going to spend 3 points on upgrading their double fortified area into a fortress, and then we're going to, that's all 3 of our tactical points, and then we're going to move Army 1 and then Army 2.
Gondor's doing 3 attacks into building also, and then we're moving Army 1 then Army 2.
Alright, Angmar is going to spend 3 points on upgrading. They're going to move Army 1 then Army 2.
Okay. Dwarves are going to do 3 tactical points into bidding turn. They're going to move Army 1, then move Army 2.
Wow, okay, so he's bidding priority with the Dwarves. Isengard, spending 3 points on upgrading. They will spend, they'll move Army 2, then Army 1.
Okay, Fiefdoms is doing 3 tactical points into building, moving Army 1, then Army 2.
Okay.
Alright. Fallen Realms is doing all points on militia, moving Army 2, then Army 1.
Elves, 3 attack points into building, moving Army 1 and then Army 2.
Alright. Goblins are using all points to upgrade and moving Army 1 and then Army 2.
Rohan is going to use their attack points into bidding turn, moving Army 1 then Army 2. I just want to get.
So if you
I want
have
to see
5
the
minutes,
games.
if you have 5 models, you should only take you 5 minutes to move.
And the other in the second half of that, and the reason being is let's say we do another campaign in the future and we go back to the normal board size. That will also be a way to check archery, because a lot of the time spent in movement with archery is people trying to be all precise and stuff about where they put their people and kiting people around the board. Putting a time limit on them, that's going to nip a lot of that in the bud.
Yeah.
It's now suddenly, oh crap, if I keep wasting time trying to position exactly 3.4 inches away or some stupid crap like that, now I have to roll courage on these guys? Forget about it, let's just move them, let's get going.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm thinking.
Cool with that. Yeah.
And I just want the world
get it down in the whole world.
Yeah, well, everybody who watches our channel.
Comment below if you guys think about the new suggested
attrition.
Attrition. So basically, if your opponent is stalling, then his characters have to start rolling courage checks. So we'll kind of maybe hash out some rules. I'll put that on John. John can hash out the rules.
I can do that. I've already got a thought. I've already got pretty much figured out how.
I say it's based on model count, not point
agree.
count.
Yeah, models.
Yeah. So just because you have the Balrog doesn't mean you get extra points to think about it. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll see what John comes up with for next time. But in the meantime, we've got 2 tables upstairs. We can do Dwarves, Angmar, and we can do Fiefdoms, Mordor.
Do you want me to solo pilot the dwarves?
We've already showcased the Dwarves, and we've showcased Angmar. So would you mind if we did Mordor and the Fiefdoms? Because those will be 2 new troops that we have not seen on the channel yet.
And Rohan are pacifists.
Rohan are being tactical. They said we saw Isengard coming, so we withdrew.
This is going to be a large army versus a very small army. I'm guessing. So.
All right, so we'll have to see how this goes, but yeah. So we're going to go ahead and film the Mordor Fiefdoms battle, and we'll get that set up and record it for turn 3 battles. Okay, so we are up here. We're going to do round 3. One of the battles that we're going to highlight this time is going to be the Fiefdoms versus Mordor. The Fiefdoms army has a point count of. Well, we'll go ahead and let Brandon go over it.
Okay, so these 2 guys are.
So Fiefdoms has 556 points, 36 units. We've got Forlong the Fat is Warband 3. He's mounted on a horse. He's got 3 Warriors of the Dead, 3 Axemen, and 3 Blackroot Vale Archers. Warband 1 is Angmar the Fearless. He's got 4 clansmen with him, 4 Blackroot Vales, and 4 Axemen.
Why are you using the clansmen? I don't know that.
King of the Dead is Warband 2. He's got 4 warriors, 4 Warriors of the Dead with Shield, 4 Axemen, and he also has 4 Rangers, Blackroot Vale Archers.
And he's racist.
Now he's got it.
All right, you clowns, go back and play your game. All right, so for Mordor, Mordor has a 628 point army. We have 40 models in this army. We have 4 warbands. Our first warband is led by Shagrat, and he has a shield, and he has 6 Moradins with shield, and behind them are Mordor orcs with shield and spear. We have the second one, which is a Mordor orc shaman, and he's got 6, same makeup, 6 and 6. We don't have enough orcs with shields and spears, so we had to proxy some of these men of Gondor, but they're orcs with shields and spears. And then this last warband here with the troll chieftain. We have our Moradin orcs with shields and spears, followed up by Mordor orcs with shields and spears, and then on the end we also have Shelob. So let's go ahead and get a shot of these heroes here. I want to take a picture of some of these guys that are done here. So this is the troll chieftain.
So whenever you have like units that are like,
he is hurling a men of Gondor there.
Like you got a guy that's right.
He's got a horse there on his base. You've got Shelob.
That's what makes.
And then I want to get some of these heroes too that we got here. So we've got the.
Like over here at that angle.
Let's back up. We've got the King of the Dead down here.
I feel like that should be okay.
So we've got that guy.
And he's based on both of them. I feel like that's an over the shoulder.
And then I want to get that Forlorn the Fat.
They're weird about
this model. I love this model.
On range, this game. Hey Rob, can we get a judge's ruling, man?
So this model here.
I feel like that's a fair shot. I don't think I'm gonna hit it.
Forlorn mounted. That's
we might be doing.
I just want to.
That's something that he made up. So it's pretty slick. I think, was it Colby?
Yep, Colby.
Yeah, Colby, one of our guys in our Colorado group. He did this conversion there and put him on the horse. So yeah, it's pretty slick. So we'll go ahead and we'll roll priority for round 1, and apparently I've got to make some judge calls on the other table. All right. So after turn 1, Shagrat called a heroic march and got that whole line up 9 inches. So they are basically within charging ring next round. The troll chieftain moved out in front of Shelob. These Black Veil archers were shooting at Shelob within the ways. Even with the rerolls, they didn't strike any wounds. So after turn 1, looks like we're about ready to scrap. We'll move on to turn 2. Whatever, dude. So anyways, turn 2, into turn 2, Shagrat killed his. Who's this guy?
Angbor.
Angbor killed actually 2 Moradin orcs. So he slew those 2. And we've opened up a hole over here, and we've rolled priority for turn 3, and turn 3 goes to evil. Good has chosen not to call a heroic move, so we'll go ahead and move on to turn 3. Okay, so into turn 5, we finally have cleared the way here. Shelob and the Troll Chieftain both won their fights. They hurled the armies of the dead off the corner edge there. And then we have taken the doorway finally in here, so next turn we can go through it if we win priority. Shagrat and a couple of guys was able to dismount Forlorn the Fat and strike a wound on him. And the man of the hour is actually, I keep forgetting his name, Angbor. Angbor has killed 4 Moradin orcs this game. I pile 6 guys on him every turn, and every turn Angbor just kills 2 Moradin orcs around.
He is out of might though.
He is out of might, but he doesn't. I think the last 4 he's killed have been without might. So that flank is kind of doing nothing. But hopefully I can get my monsters around this side now and get them into the back ranks here. So we'll go on to turn 6 here.
Yeah. That model is a pain in the ass. No, you're good.
It's turn 8. It's probably turn 7 or turn 8. The last Axeman finally got killed, so these guys were able to win their priority and came around to the side. So all my monsters are through the back end of the ranks. A couple more turns, they'll be back here. And these heroes, these are all based up here. It's going to be Good's move. He's got a couple of guys he can move here. These archers up here can either stay there, they can start to move down. So it's the end of turn 8, or beginning of turn 8, before Good moves, and should be a few more turns and someone should break. Alright, so that was like turn 8. The Troll Chieftain went to hurl to knock some guys prone, and unfortunately he rolled a 6 and threw him all the way to the wall, knocking Shagrat prone as well, killing him around an orc. So we threw him a little too hard, but we got a lot of prone heroes down here. So it's really kind of important who wins priority next round to see if we can take advantage of some of these prone models. So we'll go ahead and let's roll priority here. See if evil can win it or if good can win it. I'll go ahead and roll it.
Hey Marcus, I gotta give it up, bro. Their Amber Ale.
You like it? Yeah.
Really good beer, man.
Good got a 5. Evil got a 5.
I got it because you had priority last turn.
All right, so good has priority. So good gets priority. As the battle continues, the hurl from the troll proved to be the demise of Shagrat. Shagrat was prone, he shielded on his back, threw some extra dice, but could not beat the 6. And Forlorn, the mildly obese, was able to destroy him.
You killed somebody?
Yeah, he killed Shagrat, so big round for good that turn. Yeah.
Still lost King of the Dead. Is
Okay. So we'll go on to turn 10. After round 10, the Troll Chieftain made another risky move and threw again, knocking down a couple of models in here. Did kill a Moran and Orc again, so Troll Chieftain is helping good. But with Malbeth, is it Malbeth?
17. Angmar.
Angbor, I'm sorry. With Angbor being prone, I was able to win the fight, strike the wound, so Angbor is down, so he's gone. So are you broken?
No, I'm 1 away.
So good is 1 away from breaking. I think evil is probably fairly close to breaking as well. I'll tally that up.
3 away.
3 away? Okay, so it's still very close. We'll go ahead and move on to round 11.
Do it. Throw your 6 and just make it
It's
easy.
the battle so far. Okay, so good is just broken. Another huge hurl out of the cave troll. He hurled his opponent down this row there, knocking down all these guys. Forlorn is prone, but he lost his fight, but he survived double attacks on the trap, so I didn't score 1 wound on him with 8 dice. So Forlorn might be destined to survive. It's another big priority for good and evil here. Good is still, or evil's still 1 away from breaking, and good is broken now.
So you got him.
Okay, so we were rolling courage checks. Forlorn, they actually good won the priority. Forlorn rolled his stand fast. He rolled a 1 and a 3, or 1 and a 2. And so he didn't have enough will to stay, so he fled. So now we're rolling courage checks. The first archer fled, so we'll go and roll courage checks on the next
I
one.
watched it finish the turn. So.
Okay, but I think.
All right, so he will stay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Next
now I
one?
get to kill the 2 guys, or try to kill these 2 guys.
He's gone.
Next one.
Dude, can I just say?
He's good.
That was clutch this turn.
He's good.
Like, legitly clutch.
He'll stay.
This guy.
Had you not done that, I would have heroic
He'll stay.
combat, and I
Okay,
would've
so they'll
stopped
stay.
that.
After the battle, evil won. He did break me on that final turn, and this is what is remaining left in the evil force. Moving on to turn 4, and for the good force, this is what is remaining left. Forlorn the Fat has taken, all he has left is 2 wounds and 1 will. His fate is gone, his might is gone. All the might is gone off the Moranan captain. The shaman has 1 will, he does not have any might or any fate, and he also has a wound. So that's what's remaining left for the evil's force, and that is what is in good's force.
Alright, so here we are. We have a recap of the Dwarves and Angmar battle. This right here is what we have left from the Dwarves. There's Thorn with 5 Dwarf Warriors. And over here is what we have left for Angmar. Looks like 4 orcs with spears, 5 orcs with shields, the Barrow-wight. And then we have 9 orc warg riders and a warg and the orc shaman, and then we have Durber or Birder and whatever hamburger and his troll buddy. So that's what we have left. He did score a wound on the troll and a wound on Durber. Durber's left. Birder is left with 1 might, 0 fate. Barrow-wight has 1 will remaining, and the shaman is at a might and only has 1 will left and 1 fate. So basically, what happened in this fight was The Angmar attacked the dwarves, and they had a minor fortification. So we had the game played here. We were battling on this little territory, which has the stairs, as you see over here, and over here, a ladder here, and a ladder over there on the other side. So basically, I had to come over from out of here in the middle and come around the edges and get up in there. So my numbers, I had him outnumbered. My total units 36, his total units 25. He had 457 points. I had 576. So his dwarves sat up there. He did have some range. He did kill some of my guys as I was approaching, some of my orcs. He killed 2 of my orcs. Once I got to the bridge, he did have Gimli out, and Birder hit him immediately over here on this staircase. They clashed.
I just think strength 2 bows against 6 majority. You gotta roll 6s to wound.
Gimli got in on him and scored a wound and a fate.
Who knows how long?
And then the Barrowite got in the mix, paralyzed Gimli. Gimli resisted the first time, and then he got the paralyzed the second time. Birder got on him and rended him and killed him. So Gimli did go down.
Even before Shackers.
What other big notes do you have, John, that happened in this?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Thorin Oakenshield, the entire process of the fight primarily stayed about right here. Wasn't really able to get in on either side because this area throughout the game was highly congested.
I didn't really have to.
Basically, that rendered one of his greater abilities, Ancestral Fury, which gives him a free heroic combat, it rendered that ineffective. So he hung out here for the most part. The fights took place on the 2 staircases. Thorin did finally get involved in the end. He did use 1 might, but that's the only expenditure that he has. This is all that's left. The only saving grace for the good is that Thorin is essentially fully upgraded. He's good to go, and he can defend himself moving forward. But by and large, the problem was being outnumbered on the 2 sides, and as you all know, the dice will get you. Thorin and a couple of Gimli rolls, they didn't roll well the wound, and those trolls were able to hang around, and ultimately that made a big difference. But by and large, I would say, the evil did a good job coming around, getting access to the dwarven safe area, and then pretty much just putting pressure on them until they broke.
Alright guys, I want to let you know about a couple funny things that happened in this. So Gimli struck 3 wounds on a warg rider, on the rider. Early in the game, right on this, and I furied out of it 3 times, all 3 of them, so he survived. And then also, Birder was in a fight with an over-the-shoulder spearman against a regular dwarf.
Yeah, 1 on 4.
It was probably this guy right here.
Probably.
And he rolled 4 ones. 3 ones with Birder and a 1 with the over-the-shoulder.
And he shielded and rolled a 1 and a 3. So there were 5 ones.
He did. He
rolled
1
in
with a 3.
a single fight.
Anyway.
So don't feel alone. The bottom line is, and I don't care if anybody edits this out, I'm going to say it. You can have a great strategy, you can do a good job, but we're all, at the end of the day, victimized by the dice people. If you roll bad, you can be General Patton. You're not going to win if you roll bad.
Yes, a game of very high variance here.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. I will say, though, that towards the end of the game, things evened out a little bit more. I was able to kill a couple of his people.
Here's my casualties over here.
Here's mine, none of them mounted. And then, of course, Gimli. It's also worth being noted, Gimli came into this brawl with no might whatsoever.
Once this started,
Alright.
Okay, so to bring everybody up to speed, at the end of turn 3, start of turn 4, this is what the world map looks like. So basically, evil has won the last 4 combats that have occurred on the world map, and they've been able to gobble up quite a bit of territory in doing so. So you can see that in the point value difference there. Mordor has 255, and this is at the start of turn 4, so next turn to use their points to add builds into their current armies. Mordor will have 255 points to add, Gondor has 240, Angmar has 270, the Dwarves have 180, Isengard has 270, the Fiefdoms have 225, Fallen Realms have 255, the Elves have 225, the Goblins have 240, and Rohan has 225. despite the fact that evil has won all 4 of the battles thus far, and they have a pretty good advantage right now, the good players, the good players, John and Marcus, do want to continue the campaign, which is cool. We haven't seen Gondor get into the mix yet. We haven't seen Rohan get into the mix at all yet. So they definitely have a couple of nations there that have a tremendous amount of forces that are ready to fight. So it'll be a couple more rounds before we see combat with some of those. But they want to continue on, so we're going to go ahead and prepare for turn 4 here. But this is just kind of an update on the map there. The 2 battles that we just featured, they happened right here. So this battle here, the Thorin battle with Angmar. Angmar was able to conquer this, so they have a double fortification in this area, and Thorin fell back into the Lonely Mountain here. So Thorin's army is right here. So what you saw remaining there, Thorin and those 4 dwarves are now here, and then the other army for the dwarves is there. The other battle that we did was Mordor and the Fiefdoms, and that was over here in this territory. Mordor wound up taking this area, and the Fiefdoms was Forlorn the Fat was able to retreat here to this area. So that's where the post-combat movements were done. So like I said, this is an update on turn 4, and we'll be ready to probably film that hopefully before Nova. I'm not sure if we'll have time. It's about 3 weeks away from Nova now. It's the 8th of August. Nova, I think, is going to be the beginning of September, but I'm hopeful that all 4 of us can get together again and film turn 4 and do another battle report before Nova. If not, then hopefully I'll come back from Nova with quite a bit of content for the channel. I'll be able to meet the guys from DCHL and GBHL and hopefully a bunch of other community players. A lot of people that post on those forums sounds like a lot of them are going to be able to make Nova as well. So I get to meet quite a bit of the Lord of the Rings community globally, which is pretty exciting. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys an update, let you guys know how the end of turn 3 turned out and what we're looking at for the beginning of turn 4. For those of you who are not familiar with the World Campaign, these little X's here represent fortifications that we spent points to build on. And at the end of turn 3, we had spent some points to make those fortifications into fortresses. So anywhere where you see a little X with a circle around it, that's actually a fortress. So if an enemy army attacks that area and a good army is, or good or evil army, the controlling army is in that area, they get to basically defend a fortress. So you'll have to have siege equipment and all that good stuff in order to attack those territories. So once we get into these battles here, this is a fortress area, and obviously the Lonely Mountain is a fortress area as well. So if Angmar or the Fallen Realms want to push on those territories, they're going to need to have some siege equipment there to knock down those walls and get in on those dwarves. So it makes it a lot harder for you to attack those areas. And also another rule change is when your armies are there, they do not break. So whenever you're defending a fortress or your capital city, you fight to the death. So basically there's no courage checks involved for the defending force, which is always nice. So it makes it a lot harder. So we'll see if Angmar or the Fallen Realms are willing to push into the dwarves and try and take those final territories and eliminate the dwarves from the campaign. Every round that we don't push on them, they're going to obviously get more points every round and start to build those armies back up. So it's kind of a delicate situation on that, whether we want to push or not. If we push too hard, too fast, they could wind up burning us. So we'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, to good players' credits, they want to continue the campaign, which is good for us. And so we'll go ahead and move on to turn 4. Thanks again for watching, guys, and please leave comments and subscribe.